Greetings, Culture Warriors. It is I, Jeff Vieira, author of Culture is Everything, and your host for this latest Dispatch from the Front. Another story for you today. This is from USA Today by Ryan W. Miller. A New York grad died after rushing into rough ocean water to save the lives of two friends. A New York high school graduate is being praised as a hero after he died off a New Jersey beach, saving two friends' lives while swimming. Jalen Alston, 18, went missing Friday after he went in the water at Ventnor Beach to help his two friends who were struggling, the U.S. Coast Guard said in a statement. Alston pushed the swimmers toward the land but could not make it out of the water himself, the Coast Guard said. One of his friends called 911, and soon Coast Guard personnel were out searching for the teen. Alston's body was found Saturday after hours of searching, his family said. The Coast Guard said the search, along with Ventnor City Police Department, spanned 58 square miles over 13 hours. Our deepest condolences go out to the family and friends of Jalen, said Captain Jonathan Teal, commander of the Coast Guard sector Delaware Bay. It's always difficult to suspend a case, and it weighs especially heavy on our hearts knowing he was helping others. Mark Alston, 23, told USA Today that his brother was really caring. He would do things for you, so it's not far out there that he did this, Mark Alston said. Alston said his brother and the two people he saved were in the water amid rough conditions from Tropical Storm Fay. Jalen was close to the beach and could have run to the land and called for help, but instead went deeper into the water to save his friends, Mark Alston said. He's not here because he wanted to save people, Alston said. Alston said his brother, who just graduated from George Westinghouse High School in Brooklyn, wanted to become an engineer and planned to take the civil service exam in the fall. A GoFundMe was started to help the family cover funeral costs. I will always remember him as my little brother who saved two people, Alston said. So a short story here of great heroism. Young man, prime of life, just graduated high school, looking forward to his future. Saves two of his friends by endeavoring out there into stormy waters to help them get back. Doesn't make it himself. Frantic search for him. So what does this say about values and culture? Well, this is a discussion I used to get into all the time back when Ayn Rand and objectivism were coming back into vogue for a brief moment some years ago. And of course, one of the tenets of objectivism is that you will not live for another person. You live only for yourself. It is the, as Rand called it herself in one of her books, the virtue of selfishness. Look out for number one. No doubt, as a Russian immigrant whose family was pauperized by the rise of the Bolsheviks, Ayn Rand grew up tough. You had to look out for number one. And when she founded her philosophy and revealed it to the world in the 50s, well, that toughness, that selfishness was part of it. But my response to the objectivist argument was always, but isn't the sacrifice of self for others the highest form of heroism? I served in the military like so many others who did. We certainly viewed it as we were placing our lives on the line for our country. That's a noble thing, a virtuous thing. That is why when they take the list of which professions are respected in the United States of America and elsewhere, very often military service, soldiers, come out near the top of the list. Because you recognize that they are in line to sacrifice their lives for you. Same thing with police officers, same thing with firefighters. These are people who are placing their lives on the line for you. Jalen Alston placed his life on the line for his friends and sacrificed it. Now, my objectivist friends would no doubt wiggle this a little bit by saying, well, that was his choice. And as long as it was his choice, fine, we wouldn't recommend making that choice, but he made his choice. That was his choice, yada, yada, yada. Bullocks. The fact of the matter is that men from time immemorial have been called upon to make such sacrifices. You can go back and read the Iliad, you can go back and read the Aeneid, and find many, many examples of this self-sacrifice, of youth, particularly in the flower of their life. You can go back to Leonidas of Sparta and what the Spartans and their allies did to stop the Persian army and Xerxes at Thermopylae, really saving Western culture in the process with so few men, all knowing that what they were doing was essentially a death sentence. You can take a look at those firefighters who went into the burning Twin Towers. An absolutely Sisyphean act of futility that they knew was futility, just to try and save another life before the end, and the towers came tumbling down. Are we to consider such men fools, leaving behind their loved ones, their families, for an act of noble futility? Why, no, that's not our culture. We don't. We consider them heroes. We remember their names. We inscribe them on monuments. And yes, we build statues to such men to remind us that they dwell among us. And in the hope that more of their like do as well. That nobleness, that respect for the manly virtue of courage. Now, that's not to say that women can't be courageous. Obviously, they can. Just saying that from millennia back, one of the virtues associated with manliness is bravery, physical courage. Jalen Alston clearly possessed it in abundance to do what he did. Two people are alive today because he did what he did at great cost. And that makes him a hero, not a fool. There will always be those who look at men of such courage and knowing they don't possess that virtue, at least not in the same abundance, that they will not be able to measure up to such men. And so, rather than measure up to them, they seek to cut them down to size. But these are not the people that our culture cherishes. We rightly respect, admire, and honor those who rise to the occasion, who make the ultimate sacrifice, who die the good death, preserving the lives of others. Jalen Alston will be remembered and deserves to be, not simply by his brother, who clearly loves him, not simply by his friends, whom he saved, but by everyone who sees this article and hears this story. And may it always be so. Have a great day.